Ever since I started my activism, I've had feminist after feminist tell me that I'm not really interested in advancing the rights of men, but that I'm just anti-feminist. They say that as though they're somehow exposing me or catching me in a lie. They say it as though it's a bad thing. I've never made any bones about being anti-feminist first and MRA second. I'm not exaggerating when I say that feminists are utterly incapable of sincerity and therefore do not ever argue in good faith. I'm not making this video for them. I'm making this video for various MGTOW because I've recently been hearing the same line of nonsense out of them that I've been hearing out of feminists for years. Namely, that we should stop arguing against feminism because doing so doesn't help men. It is not my intent to castigate or insult these certain MGTOW or even win them over to my way of thinking. It's just that I was recently having a conversation on Facebook with Doom Rules where he was saying something to the effect of AVFM doesn't really help men, they're just anti-feminist. When I told him that I didn't care about helping men and that my goal was just to see feminism fall into the same disrepute as racism, he responded by saying, "At least you're honest about it." Now, to anyone who says that AVFM doesn't want to help men, I would direct them to anything that Dr. Terrell Palmatier or Tom Golden has contributed to that website. I hear these certain MGTOW say that they're actually helping men by teaching them stuff. Well, Dr. Tara has definitely taught me stuff that's helped me quite a bit, and while Tom Golden's super male positive rhetoric is unappealing to me personally, he is undeniably concerned with helping men. I am not. Even when I do things to draw attention to disparities between men and women, I don't do it to improve men's lives, and I don't do it for equality because I doubt the very concept of equality. I do it to discredit feminist theory in the public square, period. To give an example, before I started Men's Rights Edmonton, I did some activism with a young woman named Nikita Raylin Rousseau. She currently runs the Intact Edmonton Facebook page, which I'll be linking to in the low bar, as well as a male co-worker. We stood on the sidewalk of a very commercial street with shirts that read, "Foreskins are awesome," and handed out literature detailing the possible injuries, defects, and even death that can arise from infant male genital cutting. One man holding a toddler approached us and explained that he had gotten the procedure for his son and that he and his wife were considering it for their next child. After speaking with us, he told us that he had changed his mind. I didn't do what I did to change the law. I didn't do it for equality. I didn't do it for the welfare of the little boy whose father's mind I changed. I did it to prove feminism wrong, plain and simple. You see, feminism's basic premise is that women are a disadvantaged class. It's a funny kind of political disadvantage that leaves one with more legal rights than those who are supposedly privileged, isn't it? Rather than bickering with feminists, as some have put it, I publicly exhibited the fraud of feminism without even mentioning it by name. That I prevented a child from getting unnecessary and potentially harmful surgery was nothing more than a bonus. AVFM is not purely anti-feminist, just as Men's Rights Edmonton is not purely anti-feminist. When I listed intactivism, false allegations, and domestic violence as Men's Rights Edmonton's issues, I did not do so disingenuously. I did it because most people willing to act on those problems are also, to some degree, anti-feminist. I find fast friends among those concerned with the rights and welfare of men and boys, but I, personally, do not care about those things. I eschew altruism for the most part. As stated, I do not care about equality because I find the word itself to be little more than intellectual cotton candy. It has a certain ring to it that encompasses fairness, justice, and everything right with the world, and it's a bundle of warm and fuzzy feelings, but I encourage you, as a thought experiment, to go ask people precisely what equality is, why it's so important, and why anyone should bother fighting for it. You will almost certainly get an angry response, but I doubt you will get a rational one. This is the problem with altruism. While some are genuinely altruistic, For the most part, people just claim an interest in piety to achieve some kind of moral high ground to use in lieu of a counterpoint. While this is by no means exclusive to feminists and social justice warriors, you will virtually never find a feminist or social justice warrior this does not apply to. I'm not anti-feminist because of the harm feminism undeniably does to men and boys. I'm anti-feminist because feminism is currently the mecca of compulsive liars and conformists. Am I being altruistic by opposing lies? No. I am not interested in truth for its own sake. I am interested in truth because my enemies hate it. Feminists often mock me on the basis of their own speculations that I was bullied as a kid, that I have mommy issues, that I can't get laid, etc. I am here to say that all of those charges are absolutely correct. I am and always have been something of a social outcast. While I do not place myself on the same level as Orwell and Kafka, I will say that both of them produced some of the most deeply probing literature in Western history, and they did it from the standpoint of social isolation and rejection. After my experiences in the public education system, where my lack of social graces left me feeling quite alienated and bitter towards society, I read and fell in love with 1984. I, like many others, immediately recognized the mechanisms of social control being implemented in the land of Oceania. I am not against popularity and charisma per se. I would just like these things honestly arrived at. I admit that I did not come to value honesty from a place of inner goodness. I found it by being a freak. But now that I have found it, were it a pearl and I a merchant, I would liquidate my entire inventory to possess it. In the present social climate, one must lie to be popular by repeating popular lies. One must consistently demonstrate their disdain for the truth. This is why being an outcast or a virgin or a freak is the first accusation these people come at you with. What is good is popular, and what is popular is good. In their social circles, should two people have differing points of view, the correct opinion is espoused by whoever is more popular. The only currency in determining right from wrong is one's social status. If you are uncool, nothing you say is right, and if you are cool, nothing you say is wrong. Yes, I have come here by being socially awkward, but my awkwardness does not invalidate my observations, and the hipness of my opposition is no trump card. It has been said within the Edmonton hipster community that I am only doing this for my ego. Again, I am guilty as charged. My ego has been quite stepped on by lies told by the likes of Lise Gattel and Ryan Vanderhoek. Hammering the kinks out of these lies for all to see has been quite therapeutic as far as my ego is concerned. So, to review, my lack of social graces left me feeling alienated and uprooted. I hated the cool kids. My hatred drove me to examine their social structure, and what I found was an artichoke of lies called feminism. Layer upon layer, I began peeling those lies down. Many others are also busy peeling away layers for their own reasons, but my reason is one big nerd revenge fantasy, and I am more than okay with that. So, more on the topic of feminist lies and peeling them back, I give you Fiedelbogen.
Thank you, Nick. So, you will meet people on both sides of this war who are keen to say, you don't really care about men's rights, you just want to attack feminism. These people straddle both sides of the feminist-non-feminist divide, and the unifying pattern is that they don't want you to talk about feminism. They don't want you to break the silence, it seems. Talk about something else, they say, but not about feminism. You know what? I find this very, very interesting. I find this highly significant. And for that reason, I am more determined than ever to talk about feminism. I will not be silent about feminism. Funny thing is, they truly believe that there is a difference between helping men and attacking feminism. I kid you not. For some reason, they make that artificial distinction. They actually think that helping men and attacking feminism are two different things. I'd like to know where they got that idea. Personally, I take a more holistic view of all this. All roads lead to Rome. Oh, but they are quite right that I don't care about men. Let me break this down for you. Men are the house, and feminism is the fire. And I don't give a goddamn flippity-flu about that house. I just hate the fire, and I want to snuff it out. So that is why I am not a member of the men's rights movement. I don't belong to that movement because I am totally uninterested in helping men. Wink, wink. So when people tell me that I don't really care about men, I say, guilty as charged. I just want to snuff out feminism. That's all I care about. With any luck, they'll catch my drift and go pester somebody else. Yeah, I'm the attack feminism guy. That's me. That's my gig. That's what I do. All right, now that we've cleared that up, let's talk about feminism and feminists. What does it mean to say that feminists lie? Does it mean that every word that ever rolls off the tongue of any feminist anywhere is factually untrue? No, of course not. Don't be silly. When we say that feminists lie, we mean that they lie in general. That the prevailing drift of feminist discourse goes in the direction of ideologically motivated falsehood. Got that? Okay. Feminism is not simply a political reform movement. It is a movement to radically reconstruct the normative social consensus about the nature of reality. And along with that, as you might expect, it is a movement to radically reconstruct the fabric of your very own existence, right down to the level of everyday thoughts and actions. And for that, lies are necessary. Falsehoods are necessary. Fibs, frauds, and fabrications are necessary. Huge lies, tiny lies, in-between lies, lies of every shape and size and color you can imagine. That's right. Feminism plays dirty billiards. Feminism loads the dice. Feminism deals from the bottom of the deck. Yes, lying takes many, many forms, and feminism uses every single one of these. Lying is feminism's core modus operandi. It is absolutely crucial to feminism's operation, just like motor oil is absolutely crucial to the operation of your car. And you know perfectly well what would happen to your car if you drained the crankcase and then took it for a drive. If feminism couldn't tell lies anymore, it would suffer a similar fate. It wouldn't have that lubricating film to slippity slide over the rough edges of inconvenient truth anymore. Soon it would overheat and make a dreadful smoke and seize up, and that would be the end. Remember this. When you are dealing with any feminist anywhere, you must be automatically suspicious of anything that person tells you. They will lie to conceal the nature of feminism. They will lie about social problems. They will lie about statistics. And worst of all, they will lie about people they don't like. Be on your guard. They will do this routinely in more ways than you can keep straight, and they will never stop. In the beginning, feminism raped the truth, and that very same rape is ongoing right up to this very minute. Yes, even as we talk. Feminism is in the same quandary as any other compulsive liar. It must tell a second lie to cover the first lie, and then a third lie to cover that lie, and then a fourth lie, and on it goes. Trust me, we have studied feminism for many years, and we know how this works. We have seen feminist lying in action over and over again, and we have even been on the receiving end. Yes, we speak from experience, so learn from the voice of experience. That's right, feminists lie because feminism, all of it, is one great big lie. And every feminist has a vested interest in keeping that lie in motion. Our job is to exhibit the base mechanisms of feminist fraud in the greatest detail possible to as many people as possible, to put all of it out there in the public square so that everybody knows, and everybody knows that everybody knows that everybody knows. So let us all work together to drain the oil out of feminism's crankcase. Thank you very much.